So I recently given my IGCSEs. Results day rolls around and there it is. I've secured a 9 in English Literature. I was delighted, but what's even more amazing is that I've scored full marks in both my prose and drama essays. Today, I'm going to share my best tips for securing the top grade. Hi friends, I'm Niharika Arvind and this is Killer Literature. For those wondering, I studied the IGCSE English Literature course from Oxford AQA. The prose and drama paper was 1.5 hours long for me, and each question was worth 30 marks. But these tips are definitely relevant for any board that you could be taking. So make sure to stick around for tip number 4, 7, and 9, because those are the ones that can substantially elevate your essays. Tip number 1 is having the passion for literature. This is the bedrock of your learning journey through the IGCSE English Literature course. Literature is different to other subjects because rather than conforming to any pre-written specification or fact sheet, you are required to stand out. You're supposed to be bringing unique interpretations to the table in order to secure the top grade. And the only thing that will support you through the hours of brainstorming and practice, the independent research and self-study, is passion. If you're an avid reader and you make it a habit to delve deeper into the themes in books, trust me, this subject will be a breeze. Tip number 2 is about choosing your texts. It's most likely that your school has already selected your prose and drama texts for you. However, no text can really be one size fits all. Some may think that Shakespeare is too challenging, and others say that more modern texts stifle their creativity. I would definitely suggest that you read the specification of your course and find out what other texts your exam board is offering. If your school is giving you a choice between texts, great. Or if you have the willpower to study your chosen texts yourself and there are enough resources online to support you, my advice is go for it. In my case, midway through my course, we switched from Macbeth to An Inspector Calls for drama. But I was confident that the language of Macbeth had much more scope for analysis, which would lead to a much richer essay for me. So I continued with Macbeth and hey, it clearly worked out in my favor. So explore the various options and choose the text that makes you the most confident in analyzing. Tip number 3, cherry picking your quotes. You don't need to know every line from every soliloquy, from every scene, act, or chapter of your text. No, I'll tell you what you need to know. You need 10 to 20 extremely versatile quotes, only the best of the best. These are the quotes that fit every theme and character and have loads of alternative interpretations. So this makes you absolutely invincible to any question they could throw at you. Also, don't just memorize the quotes, but their explanations too. It'll save loads of time in phrasing your answer during an exam. More on this in my next videos, so stay tuned. Tip number 4, alternative interpretations. No matter which exam board you follow, examiners are always on the lookout for alternative interpretations squeezed out of quotes. I mean, you wouldn't want to eat 30 undercooked cupcakes because your baker was in a rush to get them done. You would much rather eat 10 absolutely delectable cupcakes that your baker has put time and effort into perfecting, right? Well, the same goes for your exam. Dedicating entire paragraphs for just 1 or 2 quotes can really show the examiner that you're fully engaging with the text, squeezing out every possible idea that you could get from each quote. When you're given a question in literature, you see, examiners aren't really looking for a direct answer. Rather, they are looking for an argument, a debate with yourself of sorts. This quote could show something positive about this character, but do the underlying techniques reflect something negative too? Maybe the punctuation reflects something on his mood. What happens when you bring in the historical context? Does it make the actions more justified? Et voila! You've just written at least 100 words on only one quote. Just make sure that you're still sticking to the question and not going off track though. So, moral of the story, make good cupcakes for your examiners, make them happy. Tip number 5, make the most of online resources. There is an incredible abundance of students and teachers who share essays and make videos online. You couldn't ask for any better support. This really ties in well with the previous tip. Whether you're amazing at spotting alternative interpretations or you're finding it a bit challenging, doing more research online will surely amp up your essays. Because suddenly you found new ideas from dozens of other people without any extra effort. Some resources I found helpful are the YouTube channels of Mr. Everything English and Mr. Salis. I would also highly recommend Physics Maths Tutor, and you should definitely check out their guides. They're really good for understanding examiners' expectations and the art of essay writing. Continuing on the theme of using resources wisely, we have tip number 6, read the examiner reports. Nothing will ever educate you on examiners' expectations better than the examiner report. If you're lucky, you may even find sample essays with examiner commentary or even snippets of candidates' essays. Examiners may also share advice in the report or outline common mistakes. It makes correcting your practice essays so much easier. Now that we have all our content ready to go, it's time to start actually writing our essays. Tip number 7, improve your vocabulary. Your language in your essays is worth a few marks. To completely express your ideas in literature, you must ensure that your language skills are top-notch. What does this mean? Well, it means
A. You can write in long compound compact sentences to offer as much detail as possible. B. You have plenty of synonyms for shows and emphasizes, and also a variety of linking devices. C. You're an expert in literary devices. Try to go further than just simile, metaphor, and personification. D. You always circle back to the author or playwright. This shows that you have a clear understanding of author's purpose. E. You use tentative vocabulary. Using these words across your essay will signal to the examiner that you're not concluding your ideas, but debating upon them. Most importantly, F. You have loads of ambitious vocabulary up your sleeve.
Tip number 8, practice the art of essay writing. This is to make your essays as professional as possible. A. You need to have impeccable organization in your essay if you want your arguments to be convincing. If you plan well, you can write well. B. Your grammar and punctuation should almost always be on point. And C. This is a little extra something that I like to do. I've seen it a lot, being done a lot in university essays and published essays. And that is the use of square brackets in quotations. It's basically to show that you have paraphrased the original content to fit the grammar of the line. I'll show an example on the screen. This isn't compulsory, but it never really hurts to go the extra mile. Tip number 9 is time management. This is paramount to achieving the top grade. Past exam data shows that grade 9 students write more content, like a lot more. At least around 700 to 1,000 words per essay should be your aim. This is not impossible. Here's how.
First, before your exam, decide whether prose or drama takes longer to write. Plan to write the longer essay first because your longer essay is sure to grab more marks and impress your examiner since it's the first essay he'll read. For me, this was Macbeth. Second, in the exam, you spend the first 5 to 10 minutes making the most easy to follow plan ever. The plan is so perfect that you cannot be caught thinking what to do next at any point. Number 3, start writing your essay. Don't think twice about your introduction statement because you already have such cool phrases you've memorized beforehand. In fact, you don't even think twice about how to analyze your quotes because you have those explanations memorized as well. And finally, your first essay takes up a little bit more than half the time. That's okay, because you've already decided that your second essay has less content anyway. Repeat the steps and yay, you're done.
And finally, tip number 10 is practice. To put all the previous tips to good use, you must practice a lot. It may seem quite daunting at first to keep writing so much, but honestly, it's so worth it. To demonstrate, when I first practiced essay writing, I could barely get above 300 words and maybe 5 to 6 quotes. But with practice and the tough decision to sacrifice my handwriting for more content, I was able to get almost 900 words down and 16 quotes in my final exam. Oh, and by the way, find a good pen. I use the Uni Jetstream ballpoint pen, and honestly, it's a game changer in writing fast. And there we go. I really hope these tips help you and steer you in the right direction for your preparation. The next few episodes will dive deeper into the texts I studied, Macbeth and Purple Hibiscus. So subscribe and stay tuned for that. Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next episode of Killer Literature.